We went down to a house and we opened the door and the guy's sitting on the floor and he's got a little black and white TV and he's talking to us from the floor, he's not getting up. And I go in the bathroom to use the bathroom and there's a crack pipe in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, we're out, we're gone. Politely excused myself and we were leaving and I turned around and I said, what did you do today? And he said, well, I was shot in the back in Afghanistan and I can't afford a wheelchair. Somebody yesterday brought me food, so I got to eat, but somebody today brought me crack. So I smoke crack and I watch my TV. Right? I mean, like, I was about to walk out of that guy's life and just like be like what everybody else does is just like, how can I judge that? That's pretty much what I would do if I got shot in the back and had nowhere to go all day. I would probably wait for somebody to bring me something to take me out of this world, you know? So we furnished his house. And then we got him a wheelchair.
I've never met someone that is more of a tornado than Treger. Honestly. Looks like a Barbie doll, got the personality of a sailor, and she helps people like Mother Teresa. She throws you in the trenches. She's an idea person. You gotta hang on for the ride. That's your only choice.
She is the face of Humble. She's founder and CEO of the organization. Well, the mission of Humble Design is to provide furnishings for the homeless in Detroit.
I think that, you know, when she first got out of college, probably struggled a little bit trying to find her niche. I think when she became an entrepreneur and started going into business for herself, that she was happiest.
I was going into work every day and cranking out brochures, and I was like, there's something inside of me that's screaming to get out. Rob sat me down, he's like, okay, don't like graphic design and advertising. What do you want to do?
And she said, I want to move heaven and earth. And I was like, I kind of laughed. I was like, what do you, like, no, what's a concrete goal? Like, where do you want to go?
I'm like, I don't know, but it's got to be big, and I got to make a real impact, and I got to make a difference, and I got to do it right now. And if I don't, I'm going to explode.
And I was like, I don't know how you're going to move heaven and earth, but this girl's going to figure out how to do it.
I started volunteering when I moved here, and I met one person who was in need. She was the same age as I am. She had kids the same age as I did, and she was real quiet one day, and she was in the office, and I said, well, what's going on? And she said, well, I couldn't afford my last rent payment, and my kids and I had to move into a homeless shelter. I was just like, how do we fix this? I just want to put all my weight behind making life better for you right now. She found a place. Once we got her there, I sort of realized that it wasn't like summer camp, and there wasn't a bed and a dresser that was just automatically going to be there for her. And the kids were so excited to be there, but they were making little nests on the floor where they were going to sleep in their rooms. Like, I was just like, no, that's not going to happen. I was new here, so I didn't really know anyone, but I started asking everybody, you know, to donate little things. And my friend Anna and I drove around in her pickup truck and picked all this stuff up. So we finished her house, but people had told people what we were doing, and the furniture kept coming. So I started calling places, finding out where it needed to go, but I wanted it to go to a program that did what we did for my friend's house. And every time I called, they were like, oh, that's a really good program, you should start that. So the community started to help me, and we grew. Believe it or not, everything that you see in this warehouse will completely overturn in 6 weeks. Everything will be gone, everything else will be gone. I mean, at 3 houses a week, it's just a lot.
We keep wanting to count how many actual people, not just like families that we've helped. It's in the thousands.
We've done 607 families as of this week. Of those 607 families, only 1% have returned to homelessness. Without our help, it's 46%.
And so other people in different cities are wanting to do the same thing. And so it's, you know, creating this model here and then being able to mentor other people to do the same.
Since I started this, it has decimated my view of homelessness. Homelessness is us. This is it. One paycheck away. 84% of the families that we serve are single moms living in Detroit who work. They work. They cannot make ends meet with their job as it exists.
Sometimes you can't help yourself. Sometimes somebody do have to help you. You know, especially when you go through a loss that I went through.
When you're going through a difficult time, she just wraps her arms around you and really is there for you. And you can see that in everyone that she meets.
Things affect her in the way of, we see awful things for our clients, and she'll just sob with them.
It's just an amazing feeling to have people that care, and they don't even know you.
How can you judge people when you don't know the full story? And if you are quick to judge and you're quick to say, like, well, the homeless population is just lazy, or they've made those choices, you've never met a homeless person. You've never sat there and talked with somebody. And when you do, then I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I lost my daughter to cancer. Well, I was with her the whole time, while she had the cancer. And it was already taking a toll over me. But when she passed away, it was devastating. It was devastating. I didn't know how to think. I was in it by myself.
It doesn't hurt me any less to lose everything than someone who's low income to lose everything. These are painful things that we try not to think about. But if we all can come together and talk and have this understanding and realize that we're all one people together, that would be my dream.
It's still it's real painful, and then you just go into a depression. Sometimes some people don't come out, but I came out because I stayed prayerful. I never thought that I can get through the shelter. I never thought that I can live life again. I thank God for even putting it on their heart to come help me the way they did.
She'll take a mom, again, for Humboldt, she meets a client and is like, yeah, you're in this situation, and you're allowed to be in this situation. You're allowed to be scared and sad and angry and all those things, but you're also allowed to get happy.
The moments where the mom sees the house for the first time, and it's almost like her shoulders just fall for a second. She just has been carrying so much weight for so long and carrying the family on her back for so long that she sees a moment of relief. And I wait for that moment, and I watch the mom's face as she gets to walk in and see that.
I had to sit down and just look, because I never had this before. I went from having no furniture to a house full of furniture in 2 months.
So they got a house, and we delivered furniture to them, but we were talking to her, and we were like, well, what's next? What's your dream? She said, I want to get my GED, I want to go to culinary school, and I want to be a chef. And I went, okay, I know a chef. I know a culinary school. I know a couple people who might be able to help her, and I made some phone calls. Scholarship to culinary school, job at a restaurant while she's going to culinary school, and somebody on the news donated her a car because we covered her on the news. So in 1 week, boom, we were able to change not just furniture, but her entire life.
I have everything. I got a drawer to put my clothes in. My daughter got a room that she's happy in.
To watch those kids go into the beds for the first time and to play with toys and to be happy for a moment, knowing what their last year was like, you can see it's palpable. You can see the relief.
We have a play area downstairs.
I got you some toys.
Want to see downstairs?
Come on, let's go see your toys.
You like your bed?
The bed not going anywhere.
It's yours.
Let's really think about that for a second. Their greatest asset at that moment is a bed, and it being comfortable and being quiet and having their own space. And to understand the weight of that on a child, I can understand the weight of that on an adult, because they have complex emotions and they can deal with those things and they can compartmentalize that. But just to have so little as a child, that your greatest asset is somewhere to sleep, I just don't think that a child should have to have a thought that big yet. Picturing a mom tucking her kid into bed at a homeless shelter or in a car, that wrecks me. And I identify with that, As a mom, you care so much about the future of your family.
She worries about her kids all the time. She's a great mom.
When we had our first child, I remember writing a note to her and said, "Congratulations, you just moved heaven and earth."
Are you gonna stay the night?
'Cause you made a turtle light.
I absolutely have attempted to teach my children empathy. There's a teaching moment every time your child comes home and says, oh, this person's not nice to me, or this person, and trying to understand like what's going on in their life, what's going on with them that would make them do that. I think my kids feel really supported by my husband and myself, and they can tell us anything because they know we're all teammates.
What's your favorite part about your mom picking you up?
Everything.
What she does is she comes in and she's like, every day I pick up my kids at 2:45, and so she is out of this office at 2:30.
As far as Humble's concerned, I love bringing them down to the houses.
What do you do to help Mom at work?
I do rooms. I do the beds and the rooms for her.
Do you ever help?
Sometimes. I donated some of my Hanukkah toys.
When she first meets Mom, she's like, where were your kids sleeping last night?
Were they sleeping on these beds before?
No, everybody, we like had a slumber party every night.
Slumber party, sure.
Stayed in the middle of the floor downstairs, and hey, they came up in their rooms, but we were all downstairs always.
It'd be nice to
playing.
put everybody to bed tonight.
All of them.
I connect with people who aren't perfect. I need to find some connection with people where we can admit to our faults and talk about them and laugh about them.
She gets in your face.
A surface conversation is like my biggest nightmare. Like I have social anxiety when it comes to chit chat. But like I enjoy people who can admit to being a little broken.
I think she gets frustrated when she can't solve a problem immediately. She's strong and solid until something kind of shakes her, and she is just like, she sort of falls apart for a very little bit, and she just throws it back together and she keeps moving forward. So
Sometimes she can get very frustrated with people she feels that aren't sort of going at the same pace or have the same energy or have the same commitment.
We have men volunteers who like to stay on their cell phone for like a night.
I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of real change. But all of those things excite me at the same time. Being scared is the most useless emotion when it comes to your life. If you're afraid of it, that's probably what you should be doing.
She works through passion. You know, she doesn't think of the finances, and not once has she ever asked for a paycheck.
The passion behind that affects every single person in this building. It affects every family member we meet. It affects every video crew that comes in.
I don't think that anyone could come in contact with Treger and not be impacted by her. The second I met her, I realized like I'm allowed to be, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm allowed to be whatever I am, you know, like pigtails, crazy hat, go to work and help people. You're allowed to just be 100% honest with who you are and then still do what you want to be doing. She's really amazing in that way.
How do you do that? You know, like you look awesome, you got kids, you're running around, she's on I don't know how many committees in this town.
It sounds corny, but when I do, I see her. Like, I'm not surprised by any of this. Like I didn't know what she was gonna do in life, but I knew it was gonna be something amazing.
In the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts, they tell you to wherever place you go to leave it better than when you came. And that is my driving force. I want to leave every day and every place that I go a little better than when I came in.
I knew that she wasn't doing this just to get, you know, points or something. She was doing it from her heart. Most people don't do stuff from their heart. Most people don't have a heart like that. So it's a blessing.